버렸던 진동 아직 감각 있거든 펼쳐진 아득한 배 심장을 깨워볼게 Check engine Start the race 시동 켜라 away yeah. 끝까지 달려 더 내 car 한계를 넘어 revive 끝까지는 나를 덮쳐도 아침은 밝아 hold the good 끝까지 달려 지나온 길에 미련은 난 남길게 Keep it running keep it real 나는 난 멈춰 직진 창문을 내려봐 유난히 더 찬바람 오히려 날 깨우네 완전히 새로 태어난 듯해 태풍 속에 날 선비가 내려도 어차피 저쪽도 돼 상관없어 지나갈 텐데
Hello! Oh my gosh, I was enjoying the music and trying to pull up Reborn Rookie because I like looking at Lee Jun Young. Welcome to K-Talk Live. It's Monday night here on the East Coast, and I'm so excited because we have somebody here live. You guys know. Oh, and Zoe is saying you miss Korea. Well, hopefully Christine being here will help, right? Hello. Oh, hi, joining in from Southern California. Where are you guys joining in from? Put it in the chat box because you know I like you guys being interactive. I already see Kim from the West Coast. Welcome to this version of K-Talk Live where I have director Christine Ko. But first I want to do some updates while I have your attention. Yeah, on me. So updates, well, we're gearing up full swing. We have a tour next week. I'm not on it though, but that's what's super exciting. It'll be led by Stephanie and I'm so excited. It's a Magic Shop tour. It's a BTS tour. And we won't be on it, well, because we have family obligations. I have a son graduating, so I kind of think that's important. So that's why I'm back on the East Coast, and I'll be on the West Coast later on this week, actually, for his graduation and launching the LA chapter. So super excited about that. So on chapters, we are launching chapters across the USA because we want the community, particularly in the USA, which I would say is my biggest community at this point, to continue that belonging in Cheong, especially. And you guys have asked for it. So we're going to do our best to connect you when you can't be in South Korea, Zoe, right? Because not everybody can go every month. So we're going to try to bring it to you. LA and OC are the next chapter launches. And then after that, we'll be on the East Coast for some launches. So stay tuned. But because of that, oh, your body's in Seattle, but mine is in Korea. Mine too, but for work purposes. But more on that. Okay, now we have the newsletter. So we're going to be more consistent with the newsletter because we do have so much information and I get overwhelmed trying to share everything online to you via social media. So subscribe to the newsletter, please, because I want to just be better with sending out information and keeping you guys connected. And now that we have chapters, we'll have chapter events. Tampa was the first one, LA, New York, Boston, Chicago, to name a few, Toronto, stay tuned. And anybody wants to co-lead a chapter, coordinate, join, please let us know. And you can just email us. But we, again, want to bring Korea to you. And so that's the point of the chapters in the USA. Don't worry if you guys are in the UK or Australia or New Zealand. We're coming to you. Yeah. So stay tuned on that. So join the Cheong Journal. That is, of course, it's got to be Cheong, right? I got to talk about Cheong all the time. That's the name of the newsletter. So yay, I'll see you for this week. I'll be there because I'll be in California. So I'm so excited because I can't join every chapter lunch, but I will be this Saturday. Okay. So without further ado, I'm going to bring on our guest of honor. It's not me. It is Christine Ko. So she's going to come on shortly. She's joining us from Korea. It's not too early. That's 9 a.m. Not too bad, hopefully. And she's busy. Post-production, I believe. So Christine, come on board. Now, let me talk about Christine as she comes on. We're live. I first met her online. Maybe you guys have heard the story. Yes, we became social media buddies, right? From this app called Clubhouse. She was very articulate. But why was I drawn to her? Because she was talking about K-dramas. Yeah, as a PD. And she's still a PD, but she's also a director, which we'll talk about. And I gravitated to her because that is my work. And then as I launched the tours, she was my go-to, still is, but maybe now she's too busy and stuff like that because now she's a lead director. Okay, we'll talk about that. But she has been a staple on my tour. I think out of 20 tours, she's probably spoken for at least half, right, Christine? And so I'm really thankful. Tour peeps, you guys know her, give her a shout out on the chat box. Hopefully she can see it, but I'll give you the questions, Christine. If you can't multitask, don't worry. But Christine, welcome. Thank you for joining us. She, Reborn Rookie, is her first lead directing gig. So clap, 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 clap. Virtual claps. I wish I could hear people online. Yeah, give her a shout out. So I say I'm proud of her because I don't know. We've known each other now at least 5 years with the pandemic. It's gone by and it's really super cool. And I'm very proud of a female director, just saying. Okay. So we can talk about what that looks like in the industry. Female, I'm always going to support those women leaders. I remember when Christine talked to us, I loved it. See, Zoe, remember Zoe, just so you know, Christine was on my second tour ever. And that was your first speaking thing on the second tour in October 2023. So Zoe remembers you. And then we have some other, hi, Magnolia Mom. I know you from Toronto. So Christine, let's first talk about Reborn Rookie. This is what I wanted to start off with. I was looking at the ratings. Mm-hmm. It's doing good. Now, as a director, is that the most nerve-wracking thing? Are you watching now that it's airing? First of all, what's that experience? I notice it's doing well, but what is that like for you as a director? I got to know. Looking at the ratings?
It's way more nerve-wracking than I thought it would be. And it's just every weekend I get basically close to zero sleep because I'm up late watching or like reading all the reactions and the replies and all the communities and forums that talk about dramas, mostly local ones. I don't know where the international peeps are, but
they're here.
We're monitoring like the Naver Lounge and a lot of different communities. I'm just reading it till late at night, and we get our Nielsen ratings in the morning at usually like 7:40 or 8 a.m. And my body just jolts awake at like 6:50, thinking I've like slept in, but I haven't.
Well, why do you have to wake up? I mean, I guess you have to wake up because you got to be prepared for calls or something from the actors.
No. It's just because I wake up because I'm curious now. So to get the ratings, it's like it's getting your report card, getting your call.
Gosh, you guys hear that? Okay, so Christine, I'm sorry I had to ask this. You check the comments on. Okay, is that normal? Does the directors do that and the writers check comments?
Oh yeah, for sure. Or at least a lot of the directors that I've worked with, either they do it themselves or they just like pretend they don't do it and get like, their assistant directors to tell them just like on the side, oh, like, the reactions are good. People think this part's funny, or people thought this part was a little, loose. We call it loose, like a little boring or whatever. And so it's like live feedback. That's not necessarily the most, healthy thing to be watching when it's your show, like for your mental health, obviously, because looking at
Well, someone goes, okay, so you've heard of Rakuten Vicky, because that's what we're watching. So I'm in the US now, so normally I'd see it on, where is it airing in Korea? Is it on Netflix Korea, or is it on
it's on our channel, it's on TVing.
It is on TVing. So I do have the TVing app. So I would normally watch it on TVing, but because I'm in the US, I'm watching it on Viki. So folks are saying you could check the Viki international peeps comments, but Viki isn't quite available. Just so you guys know, guys, Viki's not available in Korea. Yeah, no. So it's more of an international app. So they're probably not able to do that. But if you want to encourage or give your feedback, positive feedback, no. But isn't it doing well? What's your assessment? Because I saw ratings.
It's doing yeah, I think it's doing pretty well. People at the network are pretty excited.
I read.
We didn't think it would get this high this quick because it's
it said the highest rated JTBC drama so far of 2026. Okay, that's cool. Just so you know, because I know you, I was nervous too. I don't check comments because I can't check them in Korean, obviously, but and I don't know if I would do that, so we could talk about that. But I was checking ratings for you, so I get it. But if I'm nerve-wracking as your friend, that would be so nerve-wracking as the director. And it's your first time lead directing. So could we talk a little bit about your trajectory? So I met you as a PD. Now, we understand what directing is, but what's the biggest shift as a director? Like, do you call the shots? Is it all you?
Yeah. Literally, it's like hundreds of people just staring at you, waiting for you to make a decision. But before I was co-directing, and then I always had like well, we call them 선배 directors, like
Sure.
our, not they're not really they're both our bosses and also like our coworkers, and it's just because we have kind of like a very hierarchical structure in the
Yep.
company. So
Yeah.
you're of a certain class, and they kind of
Sure.
put you in
Yeah.
classes. So if they're in the class above you, then they're your 선배, right?
Right.
But I worked with a lot of 선배s before who would, basically set the tone, and I'd see how they direct, and I'd see how they want to set the general tone and manner of the show. And then if I'm co-directing, then I try to, fit that as best as I can. But now, I am that person setting that tone. And though I did have a Hube co-director,
Okay.
so that was an interesting experience. Yeah,
Interesting because
for sure.
you were used to being the co-director and now you're the lead director? Okay.
Right. Yeah.
Now, well, how was
I don't know if that answers your question. It wasn't very
No,
specific.
no.
I
It
guess,
was
but-
no, totally. But you're calling the shots. So it is up to the director. When you say call the shots, so did you have a hand in casting? Of course, I want to know this.
Yeah.
Okay, guys.
Directors do most of the casting.
Okay, she was a little vague. She didn't tell me who was starring in it until I saw Lee Jun Young, and I'm like, really? I like the girl too, but Lee Jun Young, yeah, I'm a huge fan. So you had a hand in casting him. That's super cool.
Well, it's kind of like a group effort because I have an executive producer.
Yeah.
And other producers who work with me, and because we all kind of brainstorm together, and his name came up pretty early in our chats, and it was just as he was getting really popular and recognized here, and we thought this was a good time, and I thought for someone his age, he had enormous range, and he can do both. I don't want to necessarily just categorize it as a villain, but he can do both.
Yeah.
Good and evil. He has both in his eyes, I thought, from all his previous shows, and I thought that was kind of perfect for our role, because our role is he is a hero, but there are parts of him that you think are like, oh, it's like a
no, I love it in his
cold killer
eyes.
inside there.
He was creepy in Weak Hero.
Right.
And then there's another one where he was creepy. I forget the teacher one where he
DP.
Yes.
DP.
No, so he can play
DP too, yeah.
Evil or dark really well, but then he's so sweet and like, may I help you? Yeah, you're right. Okay, can you tell him again?
Right, for
So
sure.
someone said your casting was spot on. And yes, Jun Young is so versatile, but so is the girl. So I really think it's a super good mix. So that's super cool. So then I'm now going to look to those are some of my questions. Okay, and here's this. How much input this is from the audience. How much input do you have with the script?
How much input do I have with the script?
Yeah.
Well, I get to voice my opinion after I first get the script and I do the read through, and I get to say, oh, I think this could work better this way, and I think we should structure it like this. So I suggest a lot of edits. And if everyone at the meeting, my EP and the writers, if they are convinced, if I can convince them that this is a better direction to go, then the edits will be reflected in the script.
Okay, but it's like a team effort.
But it is a group effort.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. But they do tend to, try and listen to as many of my comments as possible. So that was kind of actually one of the harder parts of jumping into the main director role, because when you're co-directing, you don't get to sit in on those meetings because it's very
hierarchical.
It's very oriented with the main director and the main writer. Sometimes it's just the two of them talking because they can talk for hours, and they don't necessarily want a third opinion. So I hadn't been in too many of those meetings before, so it's like, oh, now I'm just here, and no one's taught me how to do this. So you're kind of just relying on your own instinct and saying, I think this could work better this way, but no one's giving you the answers. No one taught you.
Right.
You learn basic, screenwriting principles in like film class, but it's not really,
Wow, that's so cool. So, I mean, now that you're calling to shots, because I've known you as co-directing and also producing and all this, Now that and by the way, my husband says directorial debut. I should have said that. This is your directorial, but then you've also co-directed. So, but does this mean this is where you are at now career wise? This is where Christine Coe is now as a director.
Yeah.
I mean, I have to ask.
I mean,
right?
I can still co-direct.
Sure.
Co-direct.
But now it's
if,
elevated you,
if
right?
people ask me to, but yeah, I guess. Yeah. After the first couple of couple episodes aired, a lot of people have been texting me. A lot of people who worked with me previously,
So
they
exciting.
enjoyed the show and
Yeah.
they want to give me, new scripts and new
Well, I was just
suggestions
going to say
for
that.
right after. It was really, the reaction was really quick.
That's super cool. Well, obviously you're
Um,
well liked. That matters
mm,
in the industry, I'm assuming.
I
Someone
hope
someone
so. I
said
don't
here,
know.
I recognize Chris from one of the tours that heard you as a speaker asked you, did you find the drama
Mhm.
or did the drama writer find you? That's a great question.
The show found me through our executive producer. Our executive producer had been working with a certain production company on a previous
Yeah.
show, and they gave her the script, and she really liked it. And so she was, looking for directors who would be a good fit for it. And I guess people recommended me and the network, and so she came to me and she said, "Do you want to give this a read?"
Yeah.
And she said, "We'd like for you to try."
That's good.
And so I don't know. I feel like we've talked about this
Mhm.
before, but for your directorial debut, because you're, up and coming and you're a beginner, you don't necessarily get the, highest billed
Sure.
scripts like from the most famous and, acknowledged writers.
Yeah.
And so my goal was, if someone decides to trust me with any script, whether that's, that's not necessarily my favorite genre or, my favorite show of all time, if someone decides to trust me with something, I was just going to do it. And so the script came to me and I read it, and I read it in one sitting. I was like, this is so fun.
It is.
And I thought, just me as a young director, I feel like I could
You could do it.
do a good job with it. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's a mix
And
of
so I was like, if you want to trust me with it, then for sure.
no, I'm so glad. I was going to say it's a mix of like the most latest episode, no spoiler alert, guys, but hopefully you guys have watched it. Maybe it's not like a mystery kind of slash, not thriller, not like you're like, but you're kind of like, ooh, it became a lot about political intrigue, okay, so I'm not gonna even. So yeah, and so I'm really enjoying it. So that's cool. Obviously, so folks have asked, do you choose the locations too of where you're filming?
Yeah. Yeah. So literally any decision making required in the making of a
You
show
make all the
has to go
decisions,
through me,
guys.
unfortunately.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
also
So
stressful.
if we have a location
Okay.
manager who will bring me a certain options for a certain location, like the company or the house that they live in.
Mm-hmm.
She gave me a bunch of options. We went to scout all of them.
Mm-hmm.
And they tell me, and I usually, I don't know, they don't have to tell
Yeah,
me, but I ask, like, how much is it going to cost me to go here?
right.
How much versus how much is it going to cost me to go there?
Sure.
And so I weigh a lot of different things. Like, is it close to Seoul? Is it far from Seoul?
Yeah.
Is it more expensive? Does it just make more sense? Are they more open to us, our art department going in and changing some things? And so
Yeah.
there's a lot of different aspects to kind of balance and weigh.
Sure.
But the ultimate decision is up to me. And I obviously consult with our producers who are in charge of the budget. And if they think that it's a plausible choice, like, okay, if you want to spend more money here, then we might have to go someplace cheaper for these locations. And I'll say, yeah, I mean, depending on the importance of the location and how much, of it's going to be in our show, then I
Yeah.
weigh those
Like
two.
the house, like
Yeah.
the location of the chairman's house, the original chairman, right? Is that like a museum? I have to
Mm.
ask. Like, where is
It's a cafe in Gyeongju.
Oh, in Gyeongju?
So we went all the way to
Good to
Gyeongju.
know. See, guys,
And a lot of people,
I'm
yeah,
asking this
a
as
lot
a
of people were
K-drama
like, "Is
tour
this
person.
right? Are you sure you want to?" You did like, "This Gyeongju, it's kind of far."
Yeah,
Like,
that is far.
but it was a cafe that it hadn't been on any K drama before, so that was a big draw for me too, because a lot of the locations, as you guys well know,
Yeah.
as big K drama fans, a lot of them you start to recognize from one
Yes.
show to the other, just because they're so And there are reasons that people go to those locations often. It's because it's either spacious and they're really accommodating, and there aren't very many houses in Korea that seem really big on
Yeah,
screen.
I
Do you know what I
know.
mean? Even if you are a chaebol or a rich person, you live in, smaller houses, and none of them will open them to you
Right.
for filming.
Yeah.
So the places that you can go are very
Mhm.
limited.
So cool.
And so one of the big draws for this cafe was that it had never been
Film. That is
filmed
so cool. So they
before.
must have liked it of you giving them that exposure, right? Do they like it, these establishments?
Right, they were pretty
Okay.
eager. They were pretty eager with it in the
Oh,
beginning. But yeah, no,
they
they
are.
were they were they were
Um,
they were pretty accommodating through to the
Actually,
end
so,
for sure.
hi,
So
folks
I
who have joined.
appreciate
I
that.
just asked a question about filming locations. And so the chairman's house, that main house, it's kind of like this, if I remember, concrete walls and this big dining. Yeah, she said it's a cafe. So we might be able to go visit that. Okay, so they'll start getting visitors too. That's awesome. Now, okay, have you finished? Oh, this is a good one. Have you finished filming all the episodes?
Yeah, we finished filming in April.
Okay, so they did finish filming. But now someone asked, is the post-production cutting into your basketball? They know you.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, post-production is
It did.
what?
I
You're
just
still editing
started.
some episodes?
Well, we're done basic editing
Yeah.
now since like 3 weeks ago, I want to
Oh, okay.
say. And now we're just like doing music and
Got it.
audio and color grading, just like last minute
Yeah.
stuff. So all the edits are locked
Yeah.
in. So picture lock, we call it
Picture
picture
lock.
lock. So
Okay.
picture's locked,
Now it's just adding like
and we're just doing
OST.
the after but that's funny because I got my first weekend off, so like 2 days in a row off for the first time 3 weeks ago since
Since
I want to say September.
last September.
Since
Okay, so
last
how long does
September.
it
It
take
was
you
my
to film
first
this
weekend
K-drama?
off. This one we shot pretty
Oh,
quickly because we were under a tight
oh,
schedule.
okay. What's
Because I got the script in June or July of last
okay?
year, and we started preparing for it in September, and we shot it in November through to April. So like 5-6
Oh,
months,
and
which
oh,
is
so that's shorter. What's the norm length of a K-drama filming?
usually it's like 6, 7, or 8, but now things are starting to get
Yeah.
shorter because the budgets are shrinking a little bit,
Mm,
so people are pressured to have a tighter
yeah.
schedule. But yeah, I haven't had 2 days off since
September.
September, so it's
Yeah,
really nice.
clearly. You guys know I tried to get her to speak on the spring tours, couldn't do it. She was too busy filming, actually.
Couldn't do it. Couldn't
Sophie
do
here
it. Yeah.
says she loves the French song. She was on one of the tours that you spoke at. There's a French song, I guess, in the OST. Those OSTs matter. Okay. Here are some deeper ones. From a director's point of view, and you've asked this question to my audience, but from a director's POV, why do you think K-dramas resonate so much with international audiences? Because clearly
I ask that every single
you
time.
ask it to us, but I would like you to, well, why do you think? Because obviously that's why people are on. They're curious. And hello, I have tours, so they're resonating. But yeah,
Oh
from a
gosh.
from a director's point of view, right? It's a tough one, right? By the way, folks, she
It is a
asks
tough
us
one.
this question to my community, and we give her the answer. But I guess, yeah, when you're directing this, okay, this might help you. Besides it resonating, now that K-dramas are more globalized, as you're filming, do you think about the international audience, or is it still the Korean audience that you mainly focus on? Like, how do you kind of perceive things as you're
I think most people try to just stay focused on the Korean audience.
Yeah.
Just because if you start thinking globally, then I don't want to say it like limits creativity in a way, or technically it can expand and it can limit in certain ways. Because if you start thinking, oh, like what is appropriate or what is politically correct for a global audience is different from what is okay or allowed here locally. But I think everyone just tries to stay local because it's hard to think so big when you're dealing with something so specific.
Yeah. Okay, so that's interesting. You guys,
But
I'm going to repeat that because for global audiences, from the director's point of view, and even we've heard this before, they focus on the Korean audience because that's what the ratings matter, right? At the end of the day, it's the Korean audience. Yeah. So you said something interesting. So politically thinking about all this stuff globally, you can't. It's too much. So obviously it's what makes sense to the Korean audience, and then hopefully the global audience likes it. Okay. Yeah. And I'm just repeating that for people because what sometimes people just want to know that, you know? And then they said, one person said, Christine,
Mhm.
this is how they know you. I love that my Turk community knows you. Christine, waiting for your future drama with Kong Yu. Okay,
Me
that
too.
is like, yeah, and
Me
that I
too.
would ask to check out a filming. Okay, can I come see your film? How has the K-drama industry? This might be a tricky question. How is the K-drama industry protecting itself from the Netflix effect? So yeah,
We aren't. We can't. We've already been pretty influenced by it
yeah.
quite a bit.
How?
I mean, I've spoken to it on, with to your audience on the tours, but um just because it's so prevalent here too, it's affected just basic viewership patterns of TV in general. So just ratings have, all around have gone down dramatically since Netflix. So it used to be much easier to pass, for example, 10% or 10% ratings, but now 10% is like a really high bar just because everything has gone down and people don't really watch TV live anymore
Yeah.
because Netflix is so easy.
Hmm.
And there's TVing and there's all these different platforms
Right.
and all these different ways to get it. So people are spending less time like sitting at home waiting for 10:30, 10:40 on a weekend just to play the episode. So even this 8% that we got on Sunday
That's huge.
I consider it pretty much a miracle because I was after our press conference, I was talking with the actors and I was like, oh my god, if we even get above 7%, I don't
Yeah.
my dreams have come true. And so we got there pretty quick. But
Are they keeping in
yeah,
touch with
just
you?
Netflix in general,
Yeah.
people have changed. Yeah.
Oh, so
Hmm?
so finish your thought. Sorry.
Oh no, just it's affected, viewership, and it's also affected the way people make things and where scripts go. And people want to go to Netflix first usually because it's so global and it gets a lot of, audience outreach all at once. And there's no pressure of waiting every weekend for ratings. So I think a lot of directors and creators prefer that, their show gets released all at
Yeah.
once, and it's kind of you don't really know because they don't give you the data. I've heard Netflix doesn't give you data on
Mm.
how much, like how well it's
Yeah.
done. It's just all very internal, and they'll just tell you like, "Oh, it's doing okay. It's doing
Really?
this many." So they don't
So
give they
they
don't give the
gatekeep all
creators
that
data, or at
data.
least in Korea they don't.
Uh,
I've heard.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Well, you have people asking that more because, and some people have said it, they want you to make it for Korean audiences. You've heard this. They want and us, we
Mm-hmm.
want you to keep continuing, obviously, to focus on the Korean audience, which you should, because that's what people fell in love with.
Mm-hmm.
The Korean
Right.
audience
Right.
values, or right, what the yeah. So
Mm-hmm.
I'm just repeating
Mm-hmm.
what people are saying. Okay, now we're getting more questions. Oh, would you have preferred more than 12 episodes? So we are noticing a trend, right? It used to be 16 episodes.
Mm-hmm.
Even Mr. Sunshine was like 24. I haven't seen that in forever. But now it's 12. Some's 8. What are your thoughts on that? Would you have preferred more? Thinking from a director point, I mean, what are your thoughts?
No.
Um,
No.
okay. Is that for stress
I
level?
think 12 is. Yeah, no, we always we I feel like a lot of people are now saying like 12 is a good, like 8 feels too
Yeah.
short. 16 feels too long now. And so 12 feels like just the right amount where you kind of are left wanting more. Even as a creator, you're like, oh, it would have been nice to do a couple more
Mm,
episodes. But then you're also kind of you're just exhausted now
sure. Yeah.
by that point. And the story also feels a little bit like
Dragging.
it's on its last legs by the time you get to the last couple episodes. Usually when it's all the way to 16, I feel like the last two episodes are just kind of people watch it because they're already so invested in the characters and
Yeah.
the story. But 12 episodes, I know, I understand why it feels short because you're used to the
Mhm.
16. But now we're just like, yeah, but that leaves you wanting more. You're not, oh my god, like this show is just, it's done everything
I think you're right. I
it
used to be a little
could. So
critical because I'm like old school. Where is the 16, 18, 20 episodes? But you're right. It leaves us going, what? Is there going to be a season 2? Which I generally argue season 2s. But yes, that's thank you for sharing that. And
mm,
hello, tastes so good. 16 used to be the norm. Does Netflix, Vicky, streaming help with your ratings? Like Vicky, we're streaming it on Vicky, but does it help you guys?
I'm not sure. I don't have the data for that, but I think, ooh, I don't know if they monitor the international OTT platforms, but we do get feedback on how it's doing on the OTT
Okay.
platforms, and it counts as it counts into the buzz
Yeah.
numbers, which we all also eventually get back. But the buzz is just like it's ranked. So like, are you number one in buzz or two
Oh,
in
okay.
buzz? So we don't get like, the nitpicky
Yeah.
just like numbers to it. But we're like, oh, I guess, people are talking about our show the most, this week, or second most this week. And I don't know if they check all the way to Vicky. But if Vicky has a comment section, then I think it could.
So it does, and
Um,
I'll be honest, I turn them off because they get crazy, going, "Oh, look at what he's," like people commenting.
Really?
But
Okay.
there's
Yeah.
if people have them on, they're actually quite informative and they can tell you a lot. So not like I'm trying.
I'm sure they
By
can.
the way,
Yeah.
but don't go on more comments. So as a director, as for your well-being, don't go on those comments. But at least you know if there's more data, because I think the global audience does matter. Hello, it's much bigger than Korea. But yes,
For
generally,
sure.
it's good to know how people receive your drama overseas, as a
No, right. But can I ask a question, as because you're a mental health expert?
yes.
Why is it bad for me to look at the
No, I
comments?
didn't say it
Like,
was
why do
bad.
you recommend
Okay,
that
so
I
I'll
don't
rephrase
look
that.
at
So
it?
you guys, if some of you are just getting on here, one of Christine's first comments as a director, this is her directorial debut for Reborn Rookie with Lee Jun Young, and I forget the actress's name. I want to give her credit. What's her name? Can you say her name?
Lee Joo-myung. It's
Lee
very
Jun Young,
similar.
Lee
Their
Jun
their
Young,
names are
yes.
very similar.
She
Yeah.
mentioned that every weekend is a little stressful looking at the comments on the Korean platforms like Neighbor Lounge and what they're saying on the drama. So that's legit. The directors/writers will look at those comments. Now, she might have seen my face. I don't want to say it's bad because I think okay, if I had to put myself in your position, I think I would do the same thing, but I might have to work hard to focus on, especially if you believe on the project and you see one bad comment. There's one bad comment and like let's just say 30,000 positive comments, but we look at the bad comment because that's our like mental,
Yeah.
that's how our brain works. Then I would say if it hinders that you and kind of overshadows everything you've worked on, then it's kind of sad because hopefully you're proud of
Mhm.
this project, your first, and then you have
Mhm.
great actors on there. So I would think that is what I would see as detrimental. And unfortunately, with Korean culture, we're so hard on ourselves, right? We're like you guys. So we're
Mhm.
just sitting there
Mhm.
going, yeah, look at these 5 comments. And I feel like sometimes those 5, 10 comments could overshadow the entire production. So that would be why
Mhm.
I would take it with a grain of salt because remember, these are people are they even in the industry? No. I mean, do you know? These are regular people. And I do know this Christine, someone said, Christine, we're so proud of you. So they're just giving you, get the kudos here because obviously globally we're just more verbose, but being Korean
Mm.
American, yes, I know that we're so up on success, right? And what looks good. And then people
Mhm.
might think, well,
Mhm.
look at this director's directorial debut. She got these comments. And I know you're not getting that. And hopefully you don't get that. But that would be my caution. What right now it's
Mm.
good because the ratings are great. We still have are you like counting
Mhm.
down to like 8 more episodes that you're like stressed out about? Because that's
A little bit, because I have what, like 3 to 4 more
yeah,
weeks,
a lot
and
of
I'm just
weeks.
like, oh gosh, like 4 more weekends of just me not getting any
I know, but
sleep
do you have to
and
read them?
stressing over
Like,
ratings.
are they part of your job? Like, if people come to you and go, you didn't read your own comments, what? I mean, do you have to? Do they like you have to know?
No, I don't have to, but since it is my first time, you're
Oh,
more curious as to
yeah.
how people perceive it. And the I guess, obviously you're right about the, bad comments sticking with you more than the
Oh,
good
yeah.
ones.
I know from personal
But the reason I look also is because, I like to take it as, if it's constructive, then I feel like I should read
okay,
it.
yeah, sure.
If
Someone
it's
was saying that.
or if it's a certain opinion that repeats multiple
Yeah,
times, like, a similar comment that repeats multiple times, and I feel like it has some validity,
yeah,
at least among some people.
sure.
And obviously you can't make something that pleases everyone.
Exactly,
Someone's going to have a problem with it,
exactly.
at least one
Right.
person.
At least one.
But as someone who's like growing into the industry, you kind of want to tell yourself, oh, like, these are certain learning opportunities. I can take these things away and do this better for next time. So I'm like always looking for constructive feedback, because also another thing, once you become a main director, people don't say no to you as much, which is scary.
What do you mean?
Um, like, people have a hard time saying no. Like, people have a hard time giving me criticism
Oh,
or like feedback that they think might
hurt you.
hurt my feelings, or it's like, or it goes against the grain.
Mhm.
Um,
That's like
which is, and I mean it's nice also because they're like, oh, we want to further your vision, and your vision is what's most important to the
right.
story. But I'm also like, yeah, but I want opinions that aren't like, it's up to me to listen to
Sure.
all your
Yeah.
opinions and decide, oh, is this better? This could be better than mine, or I think, oh no, I think mine still works
Yeah.
better. But I want those
Mm.
opinions. But just like Korea, as you know,
Yes.
Korean culture, it's hard to stand out from the crowd. So if the director gives their opinion and just sets the tone, then people have a hard time kind of dissenting with it,
Yeah.
even though
But I think
they
it's
might
good
have those
because you're
opinions. They have a hard
open-minded
time
to hear
listening.
that, because that is a good quality in leadership. We're talking about lessons, to be like, let me listen to feedback. It's hard. It's hard, right? When someone goes,
Hmm.
yeah, I didn't really like the way you did this, and you kind of have to like chum and listen to it. But I think that's where you can make
Hmm.
a difference in going, you know what, that was hard to hear. And I don't necessarily agree, but I'm
Hmm.
hearing it. You know what I mean? And so that's
Hmm.
what makes,
Hmm.
I
Hmm.
guess, a good director or a good leader, right?
So I feel like now I'm like searching for people who will
Will share the honest
tell
opinion.
me different.
Okay. Should we do that for you?
Yeah. And like bad comments or negative feedback feels more
Yeah,
honest, even
yeah,
though it might
yeah,
not be. Do you know
of
what I mean?
course.
Like it feels more
Right,
objective.
right. Yeah, instead of it's so
So
great.
you're looking
Yeah.
for it, which
I mean,
is, which I don't,
anybody want to give
not necessarily the
constructive
most
criticism? I'm
healthy
just totally
thing,
kidding.
but
Someone said here, don't go to Vicky's. Someone goes, don't go to Vicky's comments. They could still be negative, but go to the Vicky's ratings. So I think that's good. I don't go to the
uh
comments either, but someone wrote here, I am
mhm.
loving the show. It's so good. Twists and turns, a great storyline. Keep going. Yeah, I'll be honest too. I had to rewind. This is not a criticism. I had to rewind episode 3 a little bit because I go, what? Like, because it's kind of
Mhm.
confusing. That's not a bad criticism. There's too much going on. That's good, right? It's keeping so I
Mhm.
can't sit there
Mhm.
going,
Mhm.
let me just watch casually. I'm like, wait, what? And then rewind. Yeah. And then sometimes this is
Yeah.
good. I don't need subtitles as much, but I kind of have to put on subtitles. I'm like, wait,
Yeah,
what
yeah.
they say? Oh no.
Because it's very
It's very
fast
fast
paced.
paced
Yeah.
because Jonathan's really good without it. So, but I'm like, they just missed something. Put back the subtitles. But yes, that's a good compliment. What are you working on
Mhm.
now? Are you still in RR mode? I don't think she's in rest and relaxation mode. They're asking, what do you are you she's working,
I'm still in
she's working on
post-production.
post-production
Mhm.
edits for some like minor edits, right? Um,
Well, yesterday we just finished the audio mix for the last episode, and tomorrow I have to go color grade some parts of the last two episodes.
color grade meaning the what it says, like color, like the colors.
Yeah, just like setting the general color palette of
Mhm.
of the
Yeah.
animation of the episode.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Yes, that's awesome. And then someone wrote, okay, do you decide on the OST? Like, how does music factor in?
Oh, that was also a first experience because I didn't know how directors did it
Yeah.
before. Um, but for our instance this time, our our music director, our composer,
Mhm.
she gets a list of songs from we have a separate OST department within the studio
Yeah.
who deals with,
Studio Lala.
yeah,
Mhm.
yeah,
Mhm.
SLL. We're just
Yeah,
SLL now.
SLL, sorry.
And like artist partnership, whatever. And so they'll give us a list of certain songs that they think could fit our general vibe. Like we give them, oh, we're looking for certain genres. We think these could work within our
Yeah.
show. And then they'll give us certain songs and I'll listen to them and I'll say, oh, I like these three songs. I feel like they could work. And then they'll come back with, are there certain artists that you like or that you want? And we'll give them a general um, kind of, I guess, spectrum of
Artists you like.
people or artists that we think could,
Ooh. So
could
artists can
fit that
benefit also from
voice.
the
And then they'll,
director. You choosing them, going, I really like this artist. I would love to have him, her.
yeah, and but it also has to be mutual.
Yes.
Like they want to have to
Yeah,
do
they
it
okay.
too.
Yeah.
And for ours, I didn't really have a preference.
Okay. Mm.
I just said, whoever you guys think best fits the
Yeah.
song, I'm like, well, whoever wants to do it, I'm grateful for. But I did choose the songs
Oh, you did choose the
just from listening to the guide before the actual artist did it. There are, guide vocals who do for the guide songs,
That's
and I
cool
listened to
because
those,
Lee
and
Jun
I and
Young
I I, I
sings
did choose
beautifully.
them. He does, and we were thinking like, oh, maybe we should get him to
Is
do
that too much?
something, but we ended up choosing mostly rock
Oh, okay, yeah.
and
He has
rock
a beautiful
songs.
voice.
So
Can you
yeah.
tell? Can you add Lee Jun Young
Mm.
dancing in a scene? Well, they already filmed it, so I don't know. I don't know if he's gonna. She did.
I'm not gonna spoil it. I can't spoil
She
it,
can't spoil
but I'm just gonna say if I say spoiler alert, then I'm sure you have your answer.
Oh, did you
Yeah.
see that, Kristen? I know that's you. Oh my goodness. Okay. Hold on a second. Oh, sorry. RR means reborn rookie. Okay, so I misunderstood that. That's my bad. I was thinking,
Oh, I understood it as rest and relax.
see,
I
that's R and
understood
R,
it
I
as
guess.
R&R.
Okay,
Yeah.
usually I just wait for all this
Yeah,
out
yeah.
to start watching, but because of today, I'll continue. Good. I'm glad, Sophie. You got it. I know. By the way, people tend to like binging. I mean, I guess it's 50-50, but I like to waiting. I like to wait each week to watch the episodes. Okay, so are expectations higher for you now? Just in general.
Do you mean for myself or like
Let's just
other
take it
people?
in any way you want to answer it. Someone just asked very general. Are expectations higher for you now? Why don't you ask for yourself? Yeah, answer first for yourself.
So going through this, getting ratings as your report card experience, it's taught me something about myself is that I have a hard time being happy, being happy even with good results. Sometimes when you like get good
Yeah.
news and I guess I'm the type of person that's like waiting for the other shoe to drop.
Yeah.
So even as I watch the ratings go up, I'm like, oh my God, what if people don't enjoy episode 5 as much? Like that's my next
Yeah. Yeah.
worry, instead of being like, oh my God, people love the first 4 episodes. Like I can't focus on the fact that, the
Sure.
first 4 episodes did really
Yeah.
well. I'm more concerned about, oh my God, how are they going to see 5, 6, 7,
Yeah.
8? Like, what if it's not up to their expectations? And although it's out of my hands by now,
Yeah.
which is kind of a shame because we work so, in advance that I'm pretty much done with episode 12 by the time it
Yeah.
airs.
You can't change it, right?
Um,
Regardless of comments.
I can't change it. So there's nothing I can do with it
That's
now,
true.
even though I'm learning as I'm watching it, unfold
Right.
on TV more. And now I'm just like, oh, I should have done this different. No, I see that now. Although I've looked at it like hundreds
Yeah.
of times, there's always things that you see and catch upon viewing a new
Yeah.
viewing. But
And that's part of human nature.
but I
Right?
feel like
Hmm?
as the result gets better ratings, I have higher expectations. I'm like, it either has to keep going up. If it even comes down, I'll probably just be devastated, which is, I don't know,
Okay,
mental
we can talk
health
about
wise,
that.
that's
But right
probably
now,
not a
hit
good.
8%. But you just said that you were happy with it past 7, and it did. So
That's what I said before it aired, but now I'm like, oh my God, if we don't get to 10, then people will be like, oh, it didn't get to 10.
yeah. I
Yeah.
think you'll get those people if it does get to 10, but maybe we just reframe that going, wow, it got to 10. You only wanted it to go to 7. And so I'm just saying this in the future because I guess we can't control it, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
It's already done. And then I guess but I think what you just shared is human nature because I think everybody does the same thing. Like, I think we also think, wow, yes, it's awesome, but, right? And so I think we all think, not it's too good to be true, but I think that is the common thing. So that's why we have to work harder to be like, but yeah, we actually hit 8 point whatever. I don't know. What is it? 8 point something, whatever. That's awesome. I just wanted 7%. So maybe you say that all week because it's only Tuesday for you.
Right,
And then when you get to
right.
Saturday, then then you think of, look at me, I'm being like a therapist. So don't think of the what ifs. The what is it's doing well. I saw the headline say it was the top rated JTBC drama so far of 2026. So I think you should focus on that. Like it hit, like let's have a therapist. No, I'm just kidding. That's what I would say to a client. Focus on the fact that you hit that it is the top rated as of now. That's kind of cool.
Right. But people are like, now that, both my coworkers are excited for me and the network is excited that it's doing well. And because it's such a steep curve that it's been going up.
Yeah.
And they're like releasing material for, their ads were like, oh, this show is doing so well. So you can tell people are excited, which is also more pressure. Like it feels nice to be a show that people have expectations for, but it's also pressure. Yeah, at the same time.
Yeah, and I think that's normal. So I think that's something. Yeah, it's your first one, so maybe it gets. Have you ever asked a sunbed director? Does it get easier with the pressure?
That's what I'm going to ask now because just going through this whole experience, I've thought more about all all the sunbays, and I one of them I was texting with, I was like, I feel like a mom I feel like a new mom that now understands how moms felt like raising me. So I'm like, I was talking to my sunbays and saying, I understand where you were. I'm
Yeah.
so sorry. I'm
No, I
so
know. Now you
sorry.
know, but that's then you can
Yeah.
lead the next generation of stuff. Someone is
Mm.
saying, do you have a new project or is it too soon?
It is
So
a little too soon because I'm not quite done with this one, but
yeah,
I am getting, offers for new projects
she's getting
starting
offers for new
pretty
projects,
quick.
guys. So that's good,
So I do have
especially
to
around
read scripts. Yeah.
she's reading scripts. Must be fun. Is that fun, by the way, reading scripts?
Yeah, I think it's
Okay.
exciting because it's coming with the caveat of, do I want to direct it? So it's you get to read it thinking like, oh, how would I want to do this, and who do
Yeah,
I picture reading upon? Because I feel like first reading is also pretty important, like first
yeah.
impressions and who I immediately think of. I try to,
No, just
trust
kidding.
that.
It's
Yeah.
like, someone saying I'm freaking out as well with how the public receives each episode, which is out of character. Maybe Nuna Genie can
Mm,
help better understand this uneasiness. Well, you want to support people, like you said it as a mom. When you watch your
mm,
son perform, it's so nerve wracking.
mm,
So, are the
mm,
actors also with you? Do they get nerve? Okay, this is a question. It's not on here. I want to ask. Are the actors
mm.
also just as nervous?
I think they are, but maybe not as much as me.
Hmm.
Because I mean, they were a big part of the project, and I was talking to Chun Young yesterday. We were kind of texting, and I was like,
Yeah.
are you watching? Because he yesterday for our sound mix, he sent us like a mini buffet so that we could have lunch, and he like wrote down
Oh,
everyone's names who was in the sound mix, and he's like, congrats on the last mix, and your ears are very important to us, blah blah blah. And he sent us
oh,
this kind of
okay. We
buffet,
love
and
it
I
more
said,
now.
I texted him thank you, and we were talking about, and I was like, give me feedback. Why aren't you giving me feedback? And he was like, yeah, because I think you're gonna be the person under most pressure right now, or like
Oh.
feeling super nervous way more
Mhm.
than the rest of us. And I was like, oh, I
Mm.
guess so. I guess even the actors think that the director is already like,
Yeah.
pulling their hair
Why?
out every weekend.
Well, does it well, if it okay, first of all, knock on wood, if a drama doesn't do well,
Hmm.
does it look to the director? I mean, I'm just wondering, not like I don't wanna go to the negativity, but what happens when a drama doesn't do well? Does a director get critiqued, or is it the whole production, or like, I'm curious.
I think I don't know. I don't want to generalize, but I
Yeah,
do feel like it impacts the actors less. Like for them, it accumulates. So if I feel like if actors were in quote unquote unsuccessful shows a couple
yeah,
in a row, then I feel like it could maybe say something about, how they read scripts or how the public perceives them or whatever. But for a director, I feel like there's less room for error. So
yeah.
one bad show is like, oh, that's bad directing. Like the
Darn,
whole
okay.
thing, if the whole thing looks badly put together, then I do feel like that's on the director because we make so many of the decisions. And
Yeah,
although, it is a group effort, everyone has to be on top of their game for things to come out really well. But
mhm.
I feel like the directors are quick to get the blame, which I feel like is valid also.
Yeah, okay.
Mm.
Well, hopefully you're and someone even said this is your baby, so it's like your drama,
It
so you do
is. It
feel like
really
yeah,
feels like it. It really feels like
yeah,
you're just like putting your baby out for people to people
sure.
to judge. And it's like
No,
it's
it's
really,
stressful.
yeah,
Yeah,
it's a
no,
really
I'm but at least
vulnerable
hopefully you're
time for
feeling the
me.
love here. Oh, sorry, I just interrupted you. What were you saying?
No, no, no. I was saying it's a
Um,
very vulnerable time for me, the weekends now.
so for now, for the next 4 weeks, your weekends will be about comments, okay?
Yeah.
Now, let's not go there. Right now, they're good. Are they mostly good? You're getting good comments.
Yeah, which I was
Okay,
very surprised by. So now I'm searching for the bad ones, and I'm like more focused on the bad ones because
okay.
it's 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 harder to see, which is great because it means most of them are good. And I'm like, oh, that's good, that's good. But what does this one bad comment say? And I don't get hurt by it. I
Mm,
try not
okay,
to because
yeah.
everyone's
Give me an
different. Everyone's gonna
example
see
of
it
a bad
differently.
comment to you. Curious.
Usually when people say, oh, this part lags a little bit because I think I pride myself a little bit as a director on having good rhythm and pace,
Yeah,
which I think is how I like to edit and stuff. And so if people give negative feedback about that, then I take that personally and say, oh, I
Yeah,
guess
that was your direction.
this is a section that I could have done better, or I
Mm,
could have thought more about. And so
yeah,
I don't take it personally as like, oh my God, I'm a bad director, but I try to take it as
yeah,
things that I can improve on next time.
right. And then
Yeah.
so I mean that's good. I think that's an open-mindedness. But how about you not search for the negative? Okay, do I sound like a therapist? Look at the positive ones, and if they come up, you'll read it, but not go.
Right.
That's a lot of energy,
It is a
So
lot of
then,
energy. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
because I'm trying to preserve your energy. Don't you want to like be sustainable for like 50 years? Just thinking. So that's why I had to just put that therapist thing out there. Now, someone has a really good question here. Berta, I know that's you. What's the hardest decision you had to make so far in this project?
Oh God. Hardest decision.
Yeah. Cutting a scene. I don't know. That's an example.
No, I feel like editing is relatively easy.
Oh, she's really thinking about this. So maybe things weren't that hard. So that's good.
No, I feel like either everything feels hard or everything
Oh,
feels. But
okay.
if I just
Yeah.
had to pick one, it's
Or
hard.
one of them. Yeah. Stumped her. Berta
I
stumped
think
you.
one. The location choosing was really hard for me
Yeah.
because we did the building on what we talked about earlier.
Yeah.
Because I mean, it's hard to know at first how important it is, and
Yeah.
and different directors put different amount of importance on locations. But they think,
Mm-hmm.
if the story is good, wherever it's filmed, it's not going to matter that much. Like people
Mm-hmm.
don't really care.
Mm-hmm.
And so there's two camps. There's like two camps speaking to me in both ears. And so those were honestly the hardest, because it's hard to see down the road like how important it's going to be, or how much I'm going to regret not having gone to that location. Like
Oh,
it's hard to
wow.
know what kind of impact that has on the show
Yeah.
visually or like story wise. So that was really hard, because that a lot of money is weighing on those decisions, especially because there's such big chunks
Yeah.
of the budget. So location was definitely difficult. Cutting scenes also, yeah, it was a little difficult, because we did change around the structure a little bit of the first episode.
Yeah.
As
Oh, did
written, it
you?
wasn't supposed to end there, but we ended it a little earlier. So
Interesting.
that was hard, but it wasn't necessarily like, oh my God, I had to think on it for a few days, but
Yeah.
it was an important decision that we came to relatively easily by group,
Wow. So, no, thanks for
voting.
answering that. So that's, I mean, obviously that's a tough question. So that's interesting. Locations, considering I do a K-drama location tour, that tells you that's
Right.
important. Some of them are iconic, right? Where they had the
Hmm.
house,
Hmm.
where the chairman's office was, right? And so,
For sure.
or
Yeah.
Junyoung's or the Hanwoni's hospital, or I'm just thinking of like different things, right? That become important.
Hmm.
So that's super
Hmm.
cool. Okay. So hold on. Someone's saying there's a lot of comments stressing about the daughter having a mini crush on the main lead. But
Mm.
there's a great job done in how Junyoung shuts it down by fawning on his wife.
Yeah.
That was touching, actually. I should have seen that coming, but I thought that was cute. So I'm trying to.
I feel like we were dealing with something pretty delicate there. We were concerned about it pretty early on, even
Yeah,
for me, reading the script. Just because, people might not really feel comfortable with it, though. Just it's really like little details in how you portray a certain relationship and how they react to certain situations. But I tried to make it. I mean, obviously, the daughter has no idea that her dad is inside that body.
right,
So if
right.
you're,
Yeah.
if someone that good looking and, that very, very capable and smart,
Mm-hmm.
also treats you like he's their, you're their daughter, I feel like you don't
Yeah,
have any defense against that. But I feel
right.
like those types of moments, I tried to portray it as funny instead
Yeah,
of,
I think so.
okay,
And
we're really leaning into this. We weren't going to lean into it at all. We were just
mhm.
trying to make it funny. But people might still get put off by it. But
Yeah,
I tried to
but I
make
think
sure
it's well
that,
done. Yeah, I was curious about that too. Going, wait, ooh, that's her dad. I do think there's a
Mhm.
comedic tone to the girl. You said Jinyoung. Jinyoung? Is that the name?
이주명.
Jimyoung. Oh my gosh, they're so. I think she has that funny quality, comedic sense.
For
So I think
sure.
it makes it good. And then episode 4, guys, if you've seen it, yes, it was very endearing about the perspective of Lee Jun Young's perspective as the father to his wife. Sorry,
Mm.
husband to his wife. So
Mhm.
the mom is perfect. I love that mom. I see her in a lot of shows. Yeah,
She's
she's really,
wonderful.
yeah,
She's
she's great. So
wonderful.
she's perfect. So I see a lot of those endearing things. Look at me. I look at the family. That's a lot of things that I look at. So, okay, let me make sure I'm not missing any questions because I want to respect her time. Do I have any last minute questions? Well, I guess final question for you is anything you wanted to share about this drama that I didn't ask you or people didn't ask you about? Something that you wanted us to ask you? I'm looking at these questions to make sure.
Ooh. I don't know. I honestly just want to say, it begins pretty lightheartedly, but the story does get, pretty intense as it goes on.
Mm,
And I
mm.
think the later episodes you get into, I feel like there's so much better acting in the later episodes, I think. Just because it gets to be more dramatic.
Yeah.
And so I think I had probably the best cast I could have asked for,
Oh,
honestly.
yeah.
And I loved the people that I worked with, and
Mhm.
I fell more in love with them as I kept going into the later episodes and editing the later episodes.
Yeah,
And so
let's talk about
I
this.
honestly
Yeah.
I wanted people to stay to the last episode, not because I'm like promoting the show and I want people to stick with it, but I just think
Mm.
there's such good acting especially in the last episode, and just the latter four. I think you will be very pleasantly, if you don't already know the actors very well, because I feel like the
Yeah.
actors we have on our show aren't necessarily the most
I think they're well known. I
internationally
mean,
well known.
yeah.
I mean, other than Shin the other four aren't as,
But Jingu, like,
internationally
pretty well
famous.
known. And then
Right.
the beautiful actress. What's her name? Chun. Um yeah,
Hejin.
I'm glad you
We
got
share
her.
the same name. We
Yeah,
share
yeah,
the
that's
same name.
right. Yes, I love her. Yeah, right now you don't like him much, but I'm expecting
Right.
something. Yeah, you don't like him much at all, right?
I
So
mean, you probably might not like them till the end, but we show the later episodes show kind of why they are the way they are.
sure,
Because
sure, and that's the best thing about a
yeah.
K drama, seeing some
Mm.
of their backstory, right? Of like how they
Right.
come to be like this, or how. Okay, we'll see. So obviously you have us super excited about that. So really excited. And
Very, very, yeah, their acting is top notch towards the
did you
end, and I'm
also
just
pick
like,
the side leads as well? I shouldn't say side leads, the other leads. Yeah. Okay. Wow.
mhm. And I
That's so
was very proud of the
you have a
cast
lot
that
of power, Christine.
I do. I was very proud of the ensemble that I had put together, even
Yeah.
especially towards the end. I was like,
Yeah.
I can't imagine anyone else doing a better job than they did with
That's super
this role.
cool.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
then I have one final fun note. What's the best thing about your job? Maybe you already answered it, but
Think about my
yeah.
job.
Think of why you love what you doing what you do.
Because you get to play make believe for work. I don't know. Sometimes it does feel a little surreal when you're on set and everyone's kind of reading a script,
This was
and you're
yeah.
like, everyone is so focused on trying to make this, reality, and everyone is so
Mm,
focused on this work of fiction, like our life depends on it, and we're like, what would they do in this situation? Like, what would these characters do? And it's such a
mm.
fun thing to think of. It is stressful because you're under
Yeah.
so much time constraint and money constraints and whatever, so people are very
Yeah.
stressed and very, on edge. But the things that we are all trying to put our heads together and think about is basically playing house or playing make believe and saying, so
Yeah.
you are this person, what would you do in this situation? And
Oh,
the
I love
the
it.
the, the kind of debates we have, the kind of conversations we have, I feel like are so inherently creative in
Mhm.
nature that I think that that's definitely the most fun. And obviously it's fun getting to be the one who makes the decisions. It is a
Yeah.
lot of responsibility, but um that part is
What
definitely
you
fun,
love?
and just working with people who you were a fan of
Yeah.
before you started this job. And I was like looking at them like Descendants of the Sun. I watched that stuff
Yes.
like really I was like crazy about it. And now to have Jingu working with me,
By
it's
the way,
like
his
it's
hair
so
is perfect for his
insane.
role. The slick back hair, I'm cracking up going, yeah, that hair fits you. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, it's so different.
Yeah.
There
Especially
is one
the
more.
actors who played the twins. I'm like
Yes.
I love them
Their
as
hair has a lot
actors
to do with
pretty
it. Oh,
early
like
on.
perfectly, you just want to, right? It has a lot to do with their
No, no,
character.
yeah, but I've wanted to work with them from a very early
That's
on
cool.
stage, and have them listen to you and
Yeah,
respect you.
right.
Eventually, they might have been a little, a little bit curious as to how I worked, and watching me, and but we built trust pretty early on.
Yeah.
Um,
I like how you
so
just lit
it's
up just
that.
now. See, your mood just shifted. So that's what you focus
I know.
on. That's why I asked you that question. Focus on that as you're like, I love playing make believe for work as you're
Yeah,
reading those
yeah.
comments. I do have one last. This is a great question. As the leader of a show, how do you set the tone with your cast and crew? So obviously you're thanking them a lot, but is there
Mm,
something? Yeah, like did you go into it going, okay, this is what I want to do to like set this tone and make it fun or laid back?
mm, mm,
Anything you do?
mm. Like set the tone of the show, or set the tone
Yeah,
of like
but with your cast and crew is
the
specifically the
set.
question. Yeah. Like, did you go in
Oh,
going, you guys, I'm a newbie director. I need all the direction or no?
like, so set the tone on the set. Is
Yes,
that
on the
was
set.
the is
That's what
that
I'm
this
assuming she's
question? Oh,
asking.
on the set.
Yeah. Yeah. With
Oh,
your cast. Hmm.
no, I think that comes pretty organically. But I did
Okay.
realize, as the main director, and watching Sundays do it, and then the
Mm.
way I do it now, the tone and the general, atmosphere of the set depends very heavily on the personality of the main director, and just how they are as a person. I feel like it gets reflected on how people feel,
Yeah. Because
to
you're the
be
leader.
on the set. um
Mm.
so I didn't necessarily have to be like, I like a set that's open to conversation, and what, like, I didn't have to spell that out for everybody. I think eventually
Yeah.
that they understood that that's what I wanted.
Oh, okay, cool.
But
Yeah.
because we were so scrunched for time after a certain period of time, and I
Hmm.
think we built a certain amount of confidence in each other and trust in each other, that everyone, cast and crew, eventually just started like lending me their bodies, if that's what it felt
Mm.
like. They were like,
Yeah.
okay,
Yeah.
so we're here. What do you want us
Uh,
to do? Tell me where to go and where to be and how to do it. Literally across all departments, that they ended up doing that, which I really appreciated, because that means that they
mhm.
trust me. It's also
Yeah.
more pressure. It's like the more they trust you, it's the more the
Of
pressure that's on your
course.
shoulders, because you have to make the
Yeah.
decisions and you have to be ready. If you're not
Yeah.
ready, then that trust goes away pretty quickly, because they were like, oh, she's not
Sure.
prepared. So I have
Yeah.
to be
Yeah.
prepared at all
Hmm.
times. Um, but I think that
But
just I
yeah.
the tone sets it by my work ethic,
Yeah.
um,
So I like that
and
you
just
said
general
organic. So that
personality.
gives you.
Mm.
Yeah, I see you approaching your cast and crew like you approach our tours with just chill, laid back, but then sharing and so very
I think
approachable.
it's
But
infectious. Yeah, it's very infectious, and it goes from the core out, and the core being me and, or the closest crew, me and my co-director. I think the energy permeates, and I felt that pretty well. It was really
I
cool. It was
mean, you
like a
just
living. It was
described.
like a living cell. It's a living organism that kind of
Yeah,
spreads
you're
from the
literally
nucleus.
describing
So.
a system. So how somebody is, it's infiltrating. So it could be anxiety, but it could be, or it could be
Hmm.
something like, or like you said, openness and energy, whatever that is also contagious.
Mm.
So
Hmm. Hmm.
you answered your question. Yeah. So I think that's great. No, so people are just giving you kudos and even said, how are you holding back laughter filming? Yeah, I'm sure
It
you have to
was
hold back
hard
laughter.
sometimes.
Yeah.
It was hard sometimes. Yeah,
Thanks,
because
Christine. Super
especially when you're
fun.
tired, people start laughing for no reason, and so.
Right. Oh, yeah. And are you filming all nights? I mean, oh, sorry. Are you filming well into the night, like 3, 4, 5 a.m.? Like 2, 3, 4, 5 a.m.?
Not
Yeah.
every day, but
Not
depends.
every
If you have a lot of night scenes that day, then you're filming till the sun comes up,
Yeah.
and you're literally racing against the sun. There were days when I'm like, "Oh my god, the sun is coming up! Like, we have to
Oh
get
my
this
gosh.
done."
Yeah.
Yeah.
But and then this is a perfect way to end because I know you're busy. Love that you were just you and set the tone that way. Sounds very collaborative. So it's true. You set the tone, and it sounds like people also had fun acting with you. So we'll leave you with that comment. But I had fun. Now people are saying come back after the last episode. So after last episode, we'll talk, right? If you want to like
like a month later. It's
a month later,
even a week ago.
Yeah.
Actually 2 weeks ago now, like just before the first episode aired, like after the press conference, I was sitting with the directors that were having dinner, or the actors that were having dinner, and I said, do you think my life is going to be different next week? Like a week from now, is my life going to be drastically different? And they were like, like, yes and no, it could be, but and then you'll also feel the same. But I think 2 weeks out from the press conference, it does feel quite different. But I'm also, still a stress ball. But even maybe a month from now, once the show is done, and once the last episode is aired, and we'll have seen how it's did as a whole, then I feel like I might have different opinions, and my life might have changed by then.
Okay.
Also, so it would be interesting to talk
only
after
the best
the last
for you.
episode, especially if it does well, and if it keeps doing well.
Well, we hope it does well, and then I hope I could still have you as a guest on my tour. That's a little plug. So if I want you as we have 4 tours coming up in the fall. Anyways, thank you so much. No, thank you. And people are like, maybe we'll see you in September. These are people coming on my fall tours. If she's not filming, yes. By the way, some of you guys, if we had filmed, if we had timed it well, you could have seen the filming of this K-drama. She told me about it. She's like, you could bring your tour. I'm like, I don't have anybody here yet. So let's hope it's Kong Yoon.
I told her she could, but it didn't happen.
She did. Yeah. She told me, guys, that I could bring you guys, and if we work it out. So let's still hope for that, because that's the dream. By the way, that's a K-drama fan's dream come true, to see a film, even if we can't say anything. And then, someone says, thank you so much. I found this very interesting. Yes, I would love to hear how you are after all the episodes are out. And then please don't change as a person, because that's how this project came into fruition. And thank you. Wishing you the best. So we hope to see you again. I'll let you go do some more post-production. And if you need some encouragement, just text me in the weekend. But just look at all the focus on the positivity. And thank you. Yes. Reborn Rookie. Keep watching. We'll talk to you again soon.
Thank you, guys. Thank you for the wonderful questions.
Yeah, love it. See you next time.
Bye.
Okay, we're not done yet, right? Okay, so am I still on? I'm assuming yes. Yes, let's hope that she, Rasha says yes. Yeah, thank you. No, I'm super excited for her. You guys, let me just tell you real quick. So yes, she was like, if any of your tour people, if you have a tour right now, you can come and watch the filming, but you guys weren't there yet. And then I wanted to kind of organize it, and then it just got too busy right toward, because I think they were done right when the first tour came to Korea. Yes, I didn't tell you guys this because I don't want you guys to be like, oh my gosh, we could have watched. Yeah. And then the day that we could have gone, like I could have watched a live filming, and Jonathan and I, or actually more Jonathan at the time, was sick and we couldn't go. Yeah. So did you know? And then later on, when I was like, OMG, Christine, Lee Jun Young, because she kept it on the down low. So that's how humble she is. So let's spread her all the positivity and keep watching, and I'll keep promoting it because I love seeing my friends do well. So thank you for joining, guys. I absolutely love my community. Thank you for being interactive. Thank you for your support. And let's try to get her with Kong Yu. Yeah, I would die. Exactly. I couldn't believe it, because she was really good about not telling me, the details, except here's where we're filming, come in and join. And then it didn't work out because it was a little far too. So we were kind of feeling sick. And then that's what happened. Yep. Can watch it. It'll be the regret of my life. But it's not like I could have done anything. I think I wouldn't want to embarrass her. So I would try to be just watching, right? No, thank you for being here, guys. I will see you again soon. We'll do another K-Talk Live. Oh, the K-dramas I want to recommend, by the way, is I'm finally watching Filing for Love. I just got busy, and it's good. Yeah, you guys are all saying you love that show. I'm enjoying it. Besides Reborn Rookie, also watching Teach You a Lesson. Oh, sorry, my royal nemesis. Teach You a Lesson. Teach You a Lesson. Hubby started it. It's not my cup of tea, right? There's some fight scenes, but you know what? We're like on episode 5 or something. It is good. It has a lot of depth, and I actually want to talk more about it and do a deep dive because it kind of triggered me to start thinking about certain things when it came to bullying. So again, it can be a lot to watch, but I do recommend Teach You a Lesson. It's very interesting, has a lot of depth actually, social issues regarding the school system, and but a lot more than the schools. And then my Royal Nemesis, that's super fun. I'm all caught up on, by the way, I like when I have time to watch all these K dramas. Yeah. So I'm all caught up on that. Hubby's a little bit behind on that one, but my Royal Nemesis, I also am really enjoying. And the last couple scenes or last episode, a lot of tour people will recognize the sites in my Royal Nemesis. So I highly recommend that show too. And that's on Netflix. So those are the shows I'm watching besides Reborn Rookie. So hope you're having fun watching these K dramas. And you have seen Christine on both tours. Yes. None of the spring people could get her because she was busy filming. So we'll keep at it. And thank you again for your support. Love you guys. See you guys soon.